Yo, what's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and we continue our season preview series today as we take a look at the Nashville Predators. So we're heading down to Smashville today, and the Nashville Predators had a pretty good offseason. You know, obviously things were disappointing in the postseason, but nobody really fared that well against the Colorado Avalanche, so I guess there's something to take away from that. Now, the Nashville Predators had some pretty nice additions to their roster this summer. Nino Niederreiter comes in, Marcus Nurmi, John Leonard, Ryan McDonough, Jeremy Lauzon, and Kevin Lankin. So, a couple of additions all over the ice. Kevin Lankin comes in between the pipes. He's going to be the backup behind Juice next year. I think that's a really nice addition there. Kevin Lankin has been spending the last couple years in Chicago. He definitely struggled last year. I think teams started to figure out that his glove side was very weak, and they were kind of targeting that. So we'll see. Hopefully that's something he addresses this summer. Jeremy Lauzon, shout out to his family. They've actually reached out to repronounce his name, and I think I got it, but obviously shout out there. So it's nice to see him kicking around in the National Hockey League still. He's had a rough couple of years. He was in Boston, went to Seattle in the expansion draft, and now comes over to Nashville. So this is a guy that's going to come in there hungry next season. Ryan McDonough coming over from the Tampa Bay Lightning, won 2 straight Stanley Cups, was the captain of the Rangers. Ryan McDonough has a ton of pedigree and experience behind him, and is a great acquisition for the Preds. You know, just looking at that blue line right now, you've got Josi, McDonough, Ekholm, and Fabro as your top 4. Jeremy Lauzon, Mark Borowiecki, and Alex Carrier. So I really like the Predators' blue line next season. As long as Dante Fabro can get things going. He's kind of struggled in Nashville and really hasn't gotten to where everybody had hoped he could get to. So hopefully that is his breakout season. You know, you're considering that blue line. Ekholm's 32. Josi's 32. McDonough's 33. How many more years do they really have of these guys, right? And all of those guys, the earliest contracts end in 4 seasons. So for the next 4 seasons, at the very least, will be those top 3 guys. Ekholm, McDonough, and Josi. So they're putting a lot of money into that group. Up front, like I said, John Leonard comes in. He's a nice addition. John Leonard has spent the last couple years in San Jose and been a pretty good depth goal scorer, which Nashville definitely needed. I really like that addition. Marcus Nurmi was a 6th round pick of the Ottawa Senators back in the day. So he comes into Nashville. We'll see how that goes. And, of course, Nino Niederreiter, former top 10 draft pick by the Islanders. Things didn't work out. He gets exiled to Minnesota, then Carolina, which was his most recent stop. And, you know, Nino's a very good hockey player. Again, scoring. Adding some scoring that has been a little bit deficient in Nashville behind Philip Forsberg. I really think the Predators got the additions that they needed this summer. You know, and obviously the big news this summer was keeping Philip Forsberg because, you know, let's be honest, if Forsberg isn't in Nashville, would a guy like a McDonough accept a trade to Nashville knowing there's no Forsberg and any real future ahead? That probably wouldn't have happened. So the domino, if Forsberg's staying, probably allows them to get a guy like Niederreiter, allows them to get a guy like McDonough, and those are some key additions for Nashville. You know, I think Nashville, when you look at what they did last year, goals for 12th in the league, which is very solid, and goals against 16th in the league. I think Nashville, honestly, I expected them to fold last year. I'm not a huge fan of their head coach, John Hines, but you cannot deny he has done an incredible job with the Predators last season and even a little bit before that. When I look at the Predators right now, I have them toward the top of the division. I would not be surprised if in 2023, next spring, you told me the Predators are first or second in that Central Division. But I have to be realistic with myself and consider the fact that there are some really good teams already in that division. You've got Colorado, you've got St. Louis, and then you've got Minnesota and Nashville, who I really think are the teams in the running there. I do have Nashville making the playoffs. Depending on what happens with Minnesota, I do think Nashville, either way, is a playoff team, but I wonder how they can fare against their division, because this is a tough division up, toward the top. And I just wonder, is Nashville more of that tweener team like they always typically are, finishing 6th, 7th, or 8th in the conference? Or are they the team that we saw a couple years ago winning the President's Trophy? I think they're a little bit in between both of those, honestly. And I think the gap between them and, say, a Winnipeg or Dallas is really the key thing. You have to win your games against Winnipeg and Dallas, because those are the two teams that, if they're going to push a team out of the playoffs there in the Central, which is the Predators, those are the teams you have to worry about, Winnipeg and Dallas. But as of right now, based off of what I saw last season and their additions this year and how good UC Soros is, it's a hard goalie not to bet on. I do have the Nashville Predators making the playoffs. And again, I do think they are due for another long playoff run next spring. But again, we have a long time till then. But I do have the Predators making the playoffs. I think they are due. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What do you think of the Nashville Predators? Are they a playoff team? Are they pretender, or are they the real deal? Will they be a contender in 2023? Guys, let me know what you think, and I'll see you again next time.